Welcome to the Intentional Queen Podcast Journey to Restoration with Janine. Hey, boo, hey. I'm your host. I'm Janine R. Huff. As a resilient strategist, an author, a mom, a coach, a transformational speaker, and award-winning nurse leader who has personally beat burnout twice and came back, I created this space just for you. The ambitious moms, the nurses, the nurse leaders, and high-achieving women in high-stress roles. Why? Because if you're ready to break free from burnout, reclaim your harmony in life, love, and leadership, and not to mention motherhood, you are in the right place. I want you to have resilience, and I want you to choose yourself more. My book called I Choose Me, The Intentional Guide to Never Losing Yourself Again, was the breakthrough point, and now you're here. In each episode, we explore mindset shifts, empowering truths, and real stories grounded in my signature Bloom framework, right? Because you got to grow to keep going, okay? It's all designed to help you rise without losing yourself. Thank you for pressing play, and let's get into today's conversation. Hey, boo. Hey, welcome back to Intentional Queen Podcast. Listen, this is Nurses Week, and I wanted to go ahead and drop a special edition because I know it's a lot of y'all in the background. And can I tell y'all this? Y'all have been showing up for the podcast. I went back to look at the analytics because I like to review my stats and things along that nature. And y'all have been showing up. Do you hear me? We have really went up on our downloads. So one, I want to personally thank you because that means that you are definitely finding value in coming and enjoying this space with me and along with the guests that I've had in the past. So let's jump into what I'm calling today. And we're going to call this, Can You Disengage Without Guilt? That's what the title of this Nurses Week edition is going to be. And so, as I said, this week is Nurses Week, especially by the time you hear this. And every year we celebrate strength, right? We celebrate sacrifice. We celebrate resilience. We celebrate the ability to hold everything together. But here's the question, y'all. I ask in almost every resilience training that I lead. Can you disengage without guilt is the question. Not quit, not collapse, not abandon responsibility, just disengage. Because what I've learned and seen in over 25 years, y'all, because sometimes people think I'm a little girl out here in these streets. That's an inside joke. But yeah, she's over 40. So in over 25 years in this high stress clinical environments that I've endured, is this: the strongest nurses are often the least structurally supported. Once again, the strongest nurses are often the least structurally supported. And that's where burnout begins, not in the collapse, but in erosion. So I'm going to break this down in 3 sections. I always want to jump in, jump out, because I know we busy out here in these streets. And if you're not a nurse listening to this, these are definitely some takeaways you can put into your everyday life, or definitely forward this to a nurse that you know, because we want to celebrate each other. Doing nursing, as we know, the burnout rates are high. People are leaving the bedside after 2 years. There's a shortage, and there's just so much in the news. And we just also want to be able to support each other structurally. So the first section I'm going to jump into today, y'all, is how we talk about identity and usefulness. So let's talk about identity first. Many nurses, and especially high achieving women, were taught to be the strong one, right? Strong friends. And if y'all really wondering that, I did an episode on the strong friend edition, strong one edition, and y'all have been giving me numbers on that. So that's definitely an episode you can check out. You're the dependable one, the calm one, the one who figures it all out. Over time, though, your identity becomes fused to your usefulness, right? So people always leaning on you because you're useful, okay? And if I am not needed, who am I? Are the questions that people ask themselves. If I'm not producing, am I valuable? And if I rest, am I irresponsible? These are 3 questions that I've seen frequently come up when I'm coaching or I'm doing my trainings. And this is where guilt enters the room. But this is what I want you to reframe in your brain. Guilt is often a nervous system signal or response. It's not a moral one. Your body is signaling overload. Your system is signaling depletion, right? You're depleted out here in these streets. But culturally, we interpret this as failure. And that's where the confusing part starts. So then we get to the next part I want to talk to you about: over functioning, or as I say, high functioning burnout. But it's the culture. So healthcare rewards us over functioning. You stay late, you pick up extra, you handle more, you do the toughest patients, you push through. But endurance gets praised. But endurance without structured recovery leads to erosion. You can still perform, you can still chart, you can still lead, you can still show up, and then still be thinning internally. As I say, hit the wall, right? Because it takes over time. This is what I call high functioning burnout. And one of the earliest signs is this. Hear me good. Tune in. And one of the earliest signs is this: you cannot disengage without guilt. You feel responsible for everything. You feel selfish when you set boundaries, and you feel rest must be earned. How do I know this? Because the streets have already told me. That's not maturity. That's identity performance fusion. And what that means is you put your, as I said, I don't let my titles become idols. That's when you have put your identity into your titles. And that could be in your personal life too. How do I know that? Because my clients tell me the same thing. So I want you to know you're not alone. That's why we're going back to talking about this as a reflection for Nurses Week. Because yes, they may glorify us with Florence Nightingale lamps and some snacks and treats, but I want you to look at it. It's not just wellness, it's just creating those systems on how we can structurally support each other. So this leads us into the last point I want to make before I get ready to get you out of here is structural self-care. Okay. I recently, like y'all know, I've been doing some articles and things along that nature. And these were some of the tips that I gave. And I think this is really good for us as a community. So I'm going to talk about this here. And that is self-care is not indulgent, it's structural. Okay. It is regulated disengagement, it's capacity protection, right? I'm always talking about your capacity to hold. It is identity separation from your output. Don't let your titles become idols. And this is how I started and created my Bloom trademark framework and my fill in the gaps methodology, because burnout is not sudden. It develops when critical gaps go unaddressed over time. And if you cannot disengage without guilt, you are operating from prolonged responsibility without regulation. And that is not sustainable. And that's not sustainable leadership, whether it is leading a team or self leadership. And if you're really looking for something to start you on self leadership, you can go to intentionalqueenjourney.com and get the positive, sexy self talk checklist. That's free. But also, we have my book called I Choose Me, The Intentional Guide to Never Losing Yourself Again. That is a self-leadership book with strategies that have been proven and backed behind my Bloom signature framework that you can get at amazon.com or go to buyichoosemebook.com. We are hundreds of books sold now globally. Amen to that. And we have over 35 five-star book reviews. So this is something that can get you going, and you can start to work on yourself today, right? And give you those tools that you need, because it's all about having tools in your toolbox and knowing when and why to use them. So as we wrap up, here's the reflection I want to leave you with, because I'm going to always give you a little homework, okay? And so here's the reflection. If you removed guilt from the question, what would you disengage from this week? If you removed guilt from the equation, what would you disengage from this week? Would you say no? Would you rest? Would you delegate? Would you stop over explaining yourself out here in these streets? Would you protect your calendar? Because y'all know how I feel. Listen to Pauline and Tia, one of my past clients. We do have a couple episodes on the podcast where you can go back and listen to their testimonies. But they tell you we're going to work that schedule. We're going to work that calendar, okay? Because resilience is not about pushing harder. It's about structured disengagement without shame. And if you're a nurse or a nurse leader listening to this, this is a cultural conversation, right? We start off with conversation starters. Can your team disengage without guilt? That's where resilience begins. And if this resonated with you, I want you to share it with another nurse who carries more than they say, right? When they say I'm fine, but not fine, there's a whole episode on that, because, I've been serving y'all out here in these streets. If you're ready to dive deeper, my book, I Choose Me, it walks you through the foundation of self-leadership and identity beyond output. And it talks about my Bloom signature framework. And if you're in a leadership role, as I said, navigating high functioning burnout inside your team, this is where the conversation starts, where I bring it into healthcare spaces regularly. And we have resilience trainings just for you, because resilience isn't something you prove, it's something you structure. So I'm going to see you in 2 weeks, y'all. Bye-bye. And have a blessed Nurses Week, shouting us out, because we celebrate our wins out here in these streets. Bye-bye. Oh, before I go, if you're a mother by the time this comes out, happy Mother's Day to you too as well. I want to thank you, Queen, for investing your time in yourself and in your journey to restoration with me as your host. You know why? Because I hope today's conversation has left you feeling inspired and better equipped for this week ahead with harmony and resilience. Because remember what I tell you, when you are good, they are good. New episodes air every other Thursday, so be sure to follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss a moment. And if you're really feeling us, I want you to leave us a review so you can help us with our mission to grow and reach more women globally, because we are doing big things and you are a part of this community, and I want us all to grow. The conversation doesn't even have to stop here because you my girl and I want you to hang around, so you can connect with us at our Supportive Bloom community and get resources and exclusive updates when you go to our website at www.intentionalqueenjourney.com. Once again, www.intentionalqueenjourney.com, and you will get our community. You will get the positive, free, sexy talk checklist that you need, and you can just join the email list. So do that today. And you can also find us on our social media pages at Instagram at Intentional Queen Journey, or definitely go over and check out our YouTube channel at Janine R. Huff TV, where there's over 500 videos of binge-worthy content just for you. And finally, if you found this value in this podcast, please share it with a queen in your life, and consider, like I said, leaving a review. Your support helps this message reach more women who are ready to reclaim their power and bloom in confidence, love, leadership. So until next time, keep blooming, level up your intentional queen to a better you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.